And we are live, and Jean-Luc is there as well. Okay. Um, this is the first time for me doing this all by myself. Um, I wanted to go back to Clubhouse again, but Clubhouse changed. I don't know what happened, but it all looks different. And it seems to me that I'm not able to broadcast on Clubhouse anymore. Anyway, we're doing it like this. We're live on the Facebook group of the Octopus Movement, the YouTube channel of the Octopus Movement, and my own YouTube channel. So we're here, and Jean-Luc entered the studio. So I will invite him on the floor very soon. Um, why am I here? I miss talking to everyone. I talk to a lot of people. I'm on Zoom every day. I have around 5 to 7 meetings a day, meeting new octopi. It's awesome. But it's so much fun to reconnect with a lot of octopi that I know so well, like Jean-Luc and many others. And Becky. I saw Becky, you're no longer in a job and you're joining us. So maybe you're listening now or you're watching us. Send us a message. Um, why are we doing this? I just I just love people, and I just love to try and make a difference in the world where things are not always going very well. So I have always been thinking, what about bringing 1 billion nonlinear thinkers together and let's change the world together? How cool would that be with these nonlinear thinkers, with these brains that are awesome? In the meantime, I'm getting messages from people. Where are you? Where is the live button? Okay, well, we're live on Facebook, but if I'm saying it here, you already know because you're on Facebook or on YouTube. So let me share this with some people on Facebook. Here we go. And now we'll stop doing that. I'm multitasking. That's not one of my best things. So, the Octopus movement. It's now 2.5 years. I think we're around 4,500 members in more than 80 countries. We're doing magic, really, especially with our think tank, our global nonlinear brain. And this is it, thinking outside of the box, thinking differently really can change things that are happening in the world. I strongly believe in the awesomeness of atypical thinkers. I've been saying it from day one, and especially now after 2.5 years and meeting everyone. These are hidden gems. They're really cool. I've met some awesome people in these 2.5 years, and it's really, really fascinating. It's really magic what is happening. Jean-Luc, I can see you and you're not on stage yet. So you don't have to do anything. And at one point, I will put you on stage. So you're fine. I can see you. And I will press a button very soon. So we're doing cool things. One of the things I've been working on for 4 years and it's almost finished. And Jean-Luc is in that project as well. It's Project 398. People get sick and tired of me talking about this project, but it's 4 years and it's 4 years talking to people and finding out these amazing people all over the world and asking them, can you please be in my art project, my book, my art book, where I have 398 amazing people together. Um, Everyone gets the opportunity to write a story, maximum 450 words, and share a photo of themselves, and that will be in the book. We're almost done. I think we have 20 spaces left. So if you're listening to this and you think, what do you mean, Project 398? I've never heard of that. Or am I too late? I still need to apply for that. Go to the website, go to projects, you will see Project 398. Apply fast because we're almost done. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Why are we creating this book? It's very simple. I want to be able to hold nonlinear thinking in my hands. I just want to hold this thick, beautiful art book and say, people, this is nonlinear thinking. Have a look. Have a look and see what it means, what it tells you. And then you can read all these stories about all these people Yesterday, I read the story of Todd Churches, who is a professor in New York and an amazing human being. And he has this awesome picture that is coming in the book made by Kimberly Butler in New York. Um, it's beginning to look like Christmas. No, it's not, but it's beginning to feel like a family and where everybody knows each other. And with this book, we're creating a website where you can deep dive into the stories and even connect with the people in the book. And the book will be an art exhibition on the story behind the stories, behind the nonlinear thinking. Um, we're educating at schools. We're creating pickmyneuroDiverseBrain.com. That website will be going live this weekend, tomorrow maybe. Um, it's so cool. We're using Pick My Brain as a platform where people can connect with other people with neurodiversity. So you can select someone with ADHD or autism or dyslexia or bipolar, whatever. You can connect with others and have a chat about that. Made very simple. So Pick My Brain is this awesome platform that works very well. So we're using a platform that really proved itself that it's working, and I love that. So we need that. We need something that works well. Um, Another project that we're just starting is the Brain Forest Alliance. This is the corporate world coming into the Octopus movement. So we have all these nonlinear brains, we have a global think tank, and we now have sponsorships coming into the movement where organizations are asking us, what do you think with your nonlinear global brain? Can you think with us to solve this problem? I always say, yes, we can, but you need to become a sponsor so we can do more things. We can make a bigger impact. So these companies that are becoming sponsor at the Octopus movement are now also entering the Brain Forest Alliance. They have this cool logo with a tree and a brain on it. As a statement to the outside world, we care about diversity, equality, and inclusion. We care about thinking differently. We care about the bigger picture. We care about solving climate change, doing good for humanity, etc. And my personal dream is to have that logo even on products. Um, I was taking a shower and I saw this shower bottle, shower gel standing in front of me, and it said recycled plastics and vegan, whatnot. And I was thinking, yeah, but I want to know what the company behind this bottle is. I want to know if how they think, how they work. Is it a grabbing and stabbing company, or is this a company that really wants to do something good in the world? So that's why I created the Brain Forest Alliance. Hopefully, I'm going for that. That even Procter and Gamble will think about this and put this logo on their product saying, let's listen to all these nonlinear thinkers and let's see how we can create something better in this world. Someone who, and we're doing so many more projects, but someone who, and yes, and one more thing, we also have a situation room, which is so cool. So people can sign up a form with their ideas, their thoughts, their wishes, or whatever. So people are filling in this form in the Octopus movement. People from really all over the world with all kinds of thoughts. And that's all coming together in one database. And we call that the situation room, where we, as the Octopus movement and all our connections in our mycelium, will look at all the ideas that are there and see how we can connect things. Now, someone, Jean-Luc, who really was there already at the beginning of everything when I was doing horrible interviews because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Um, who was always supporting me was Jean-Luc. You remember that, Jean-Luc?
Oh,
Welcome.
yes, I do.
And you were the only one talking about effort and going for something. I would send out these interviews online and then I would get one like, and that would be Jean-Luc always. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, that was special. And it's so, and this is what it takes. And people Really, this is what it takes. It takes one human being somewhere that you don't know about who is saying, I like what you're doing. One. From how many billion people do we have on this planet?
I think it's around 8 by now.
8 billion people. We just need one who's saying to us, that's cool. And I know everybody is like, I'm doing something on TikTok and I want to have a million likes in 4 months or a million followers in 1 month. Forget about it. Don't go there. It's about your passion and someone saying, this is cool. And now the thing is, and Jean Luc always understood this so well, not one like. It's about always being there. So every time I did something, Jean Luc was there and said, I like that, or give a small comment or whatever. So thank you, Jean Luc. And now we
4 years in.
4 years. Fuck me, 4 years, really?
Wow.
What has changed for you? I know what has changed for me, but how are you doing? What has changed in the past 4 years for you?
Well, for me, I'm a lot more happier.
Oh, that's good
I'm a
news.
lot I'm a lot more open. You, meeting you has allowed me, well, it was the moment where I started to recognize my neurodiversity. I had started like many of our group uh, around 2018, 2019, 2020.
Hmm.
The multi-potentialite started with that, and little by little, we started meeting each other.
It was cool, huh?
And and through meeting you, it we we exploded. Our the You were almost a catalyst to the mycelium network.
Yeah. I remember so well that talking about the mycelium, that I love talking about that, but it was back then when I just started the Octopus movement, people were saying, "Oh, you're building a community that," and every time someone would say that to me, it would trigger something with me, and this is why word tuning is so interesting. So every time someone said to me, "Oh, you're building a community," I always got this feeling of, "Ugh, it doesn't feel good when people say that." And then at some point I was thinking, why does it feel so wrong when someone says you're building a community? And then I was visual thinking, taught churches. I was visual thinking, and then I saw this community that it's in a room with a door, and that people would come into the community, and then you go out of the community, and that's where the community is. It's a room, it's a building, it's a place that is walled, and and I thought, yeah, but that's not what I want with the octopus movement. So everybody's calling it a community, but that's not what I want. So how the
and
freaking hell do we call it then?
and this is the one of the things that attracted me most about the movement. I had just left what's called the Putty Tribe,
Hmm.
and the Putty Tribe is a community, and it is closed off,
Yeah.
and you need to pay to get in.
And you need to
And
pay to get out. No, I'm kidding. But that
no,
that would be a community. You have to pay when you come in and you have to pay when you get out. That would be funny. No. Sorry.
but it, and what you were proposing was a movement, not a community,
Yeah.
a get together, do something, add people, grow, and not
Exactly.
stop.
Yeah. And it's
And
And without any, so I saw this recently. I was playing in Disco. That's the platform we use with all the events and everything that's happening goes through Disco. Why am I using Disco? Just because of the name. Who doesn't want to use a platform that's called Disco? Sometimes life is so easy. Why do you choose that? It's just because of the name. And I know a lot of people are in the Octopus movement also with the same reason. Why are you in the Octopus movement? Freaking sounds cool, right? The Octopus movement. Anyway, so I was in Disco, and you have this automatic program when you enter Disco. You have all these questions. Welcome to the community. Share over your name, and then you get the do's and don'ts, the rules, the regulations, the what the tricks and warranties, or whatever. And I deleted everything, and I just wrote, "There are no rules within this mycelium," because it's organic. It's human. It's not a system. It's human connecting with each other. And Jean-Luc, you have been always there throughout the whole journey. We have never been in any trouble or problems with anyone whatsoever. Never. And I remember in the beginning, people were also saying, "Oh, Perry, you're building this large community." Here we go again. A large community. You have to organize everything very well. Otherwise, it becomes a mess and people are going to be unfriendly. And it never happened. I know why. You know why?
Yeah,
Yeah? Oh, tell me. I
be-
have a
be-
very bold statement for that, but go ahead, Shannon.
because we don't have any rules,
Yeah, that really
and
helps, right?
specific and especially no non-written rules.
Yeah. You know what I also think? There is a lot of debate about, does neurodiversity really exist? Is it real or is it not real? And it's a whole philosophical debate about that. And I can join that debate. I love that. Does ADHD really exist? A tree exists. You can hug a tree, you can hold it, you can chop it. What is ADHD? But then I heard someone say, and he said, do neurotypicals really exist? And I thought that was funny because I've spoken with quite a few people and quite a few very successful, definition successful, very busy, very acknowledged, creating lots of things, really successful. And there was one guy in California in Silicon Valley, and he's the gatekeeper of this huge investment company. And he is so bright, Jean-Luc. He has office hours, and then these startups will come into his office and they will share about their ideas with their startups. And then within 5 minutes, he would know this is going to work or not going to work. And it's all about everything. It's not just the concept, it's the people, how to present all the elements. And he could oversee that so quickly. But he said to me, and he has neurodiversity, he has autism, he's weird, he's fucking weird. If you see him, you're like, oh, that's weird. And he said to me, if I had meetings with a group of neurotypicals, they would fight each other out of the room. They would use backstabbing. They would be trying to kill each other, getting the best deal, and it's horrible. And then you have the meetings with neurodiverse people together, and it's in balance, and everybody is on the same page, and we're just trying to achieve something beautiful, and everybody benefits. And he said to me, Perry, it's not that we're weird. The normal people are weird. There's something wrong with them.
And the funny thing is that just yesterday, me and my wife Kathleen were having a conversation about neurodiversity, and she said, "We're the neurotypical.
Hmm.
We are.
Yeah.
We are the neurotypical.
Hmm.
The linear thinkers are the non-typical."
There's It's really an interesting topic. You could also
Because
say, yeah.
the only reason why the neurodiverse have uh, were uh, s- uh, blocked in
Hmm.
it was during the uh, uh, ah, I'm losing my words. Um, when we started, when the society started doing machines. Uh,
Industrialization.
yep,
Is that the word? Fuck me, that's a difficult one.
yep. Uh, when we start to industrialize,
Yeah.
the beginning of the industrial revolution
Hmm.
with the trains and the automations of people doing a lot of simple steps on a chain.
Well, I'm in reference of that, I'm reading this book, and people that are following me on Facebook and other platforms know that I'm reading this book, and I'm
Yes.
so happy Anthony Satin is coming to us to do his brain lunch about this book. But he is also explaining that the nomads are like nonlinear thinkers. And then the people who would stay in the created cities are the linear ones. They would specialize, they would do only one thing, and they would stay, you know, and they would be depending on the things that would be around them. So they would depend on if there was enough food or not. Not the nomads. The nomads would just create whatever they need. They would, if it's not working here, it's working there. So these people are very nonlinear. And the ones that stayed in the cities or in the little villages, those are the linear ones, and those were also the ones that were very much focused on creating a specialty rather than having the nomadic life. And he's also talking about the nomadic DNA, that you can find it in your DNA if you have a nomadic DNA, and that's also very much closely linked to ADHD. So um, I'm not selling his book. I'm not getting any commission. No, I just love this book, and it's a difficult read. I have to say, this is not a book like, oh, let's read a book. It's easy. You have to. Sometimes I'm reading a page and I'm like, what the hell did I just read? I'm doing it again because it's history, it's details, it's really deep diving, but it's fascinating. And the one thing that I want to discuss with Anthony on Monday is, but why? Why don't we know anything about nomads? Why is the history all about the linear world and the Romans and the empires and the whatnot? But everything that made it possible, nomads. And also, for all the women that are listening, you need to read this book as well, because especially in the nomadic worlds, the women were in charge. The women were the most important ones. The women were so important, and they have these burials where you could see
In
that
in, in
that's
many
the most important person was the woman.
in
What a book!
many different nomad tribes all around the world.
Exactly. And there were all, and talking about the mycelium, and this is something that is also fascinating in this book, and where scientists are trying to create proof about that. But it almost feels, and of course, I see nonlinear thinking everywhere. I see the mycelium everywhere. This is my brain that's constantly doing this. But I read it in the book as well. What is, how are these nomads all connected with each other? They're discovering languages that were being used by nomads, and they were so far apart from each other, and yet still there was the same influence in the development of all these languages. But how is that possible? So if you haven't bought the book yet, buy it. If this is not an advertisement, if you don't want to buy the book, also fine. Just come to the brain lunch. You will meet Anthony Satin. He is a beautiful, humble, intelligent, warm, kind, and lovable human being. When the first meeting I had with him was like, immediately we're friends, and he's very nonlinear. He is he's just awesome. So people come to the brain lunch. Sorry, Jean-Luc, I had to do this.
Oh, that's okay.
Someone is sending us a message. Let's put that on the screen here. I've spoke about that before, the idea of Wetico is an illness driven by greed, fear, and hate. It's supposed to go well. Wiping on then it's now it's going to slow up. I have no idea what this means. Jean-Luc, help me.
Um,
What
I,
is
I, I,
Wetico? The idea
I
of Wetico, what is that?
I don't know either.
Okay, Facebook user, can you explain to us or come into the studio what you exactly mean? That would be interesting. If you don't have the link to the studio, let us know. You can
It is
find
on.
the link on Facebook,
That's how I
right?
got here.
Exactly. We want to know what you mean exactly.
And
Wetico, what is it?
for the Facebook users, when you could you please sign your your initials or your name when you send a message? Oh, here's a link.
Oh, there's a link. And if I click on the link, I just put the message in the screen, so I can't click it.
Yeah.
Can you click
Okay.
it?
Yeah.
This is live exploring what someone is sharing with us.
Okay.
That's
Whitaco, the
fascinating.
virus of selfishness, according to the Native Americans.
Oh,
And there's only one T in Whitaco, according to the site.
Janice. It's Janice Campbell. Janice, you should come to the studio. Use the link. Come to the studio and explain to us what you just shared. We would love that.
And this was written by Valerie Sabater.
Okay, I'm going to send Janice the link. Janice, here's the link, especially for you. And Janice loves to talk as well, so come into the studio and talk with us directly. That would be cool. Can you imagine, Jean-Luc? We have 4,500 people involved in the Octopus movement. And then we
We're at
have this
4,000 now?
4,500, and we have this inner
Nice.
group that are the people that are always engaging, that are or ambassador or founding member, and you're an ambassador, and it's wonderful to have this close group, and it's like a family. We're always there. We always supported each other. It's so cool. And now we're creating a 501c3 in the United States because the United States is the biggest country. We're active. So we have our own nonprofit. It's going to be in New York. And Janice, that I just sent the link to, is in our board in the United States. So we have an 8 people board in the United States. I'm not in the board. I'm not allowed to be in the board because, I'm already saying too much. So we have 8 beautiful people in the board that is going to help us in the United States with um, with the Octopus movement. I send it to your WhatsApp, Janice. In your WhatsApp. Let me check. Yeah, it's in your WhatsApp.
So many tools.
So many tools. I got a lot of response to so many tools, especially in the beginning, Jean-Luc. I got a lot of remarks, Perry. There's too much going on. we can't handle this. There is Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there is Disco, there are emails, there is a think tank. It's too much. I heard that so many times in the beginning. I don't hear that anymore. So, or we're doing a better job, or people are getting used to it.
I think, there we go.
So, or we're doing a better
Hello.
job, or someone has his Facebook open.
Oh, I do. It's me.
It's you. Yeah,
Is that
that's
better?
better. Hi,
That's
Janice.
me. Sorry about that. Hi.
So, what was the link? I
Huh?
could still hear myself. Someone has the
Oh, mine's off now, so it's
yours
not me.
off. Jean-Luc.
But me, it's only in my ears. So.
Oh, okay.
That's
I will
weird.
mute Jean-Luc now. And no, not myself, because then nobody can hear me. Janice, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. I just Googled the thing. I just looked and Googled it, so I know as much as you do if you've read the link.
But why did you Google that?
Because he mentioned it and none of us knew what Wetico meant, and so I Googled it.
Oh, you were not the one who would send the message.
No. Somebody else sent the message. No, although I will say that I have always said that the Industrial Revolution stopped people from generating their own. I didn't think about it from a nonlinear perspective, but I do think that it stopped people from generating their own energy in a way, because we outsourced the doing of things to machinery and to other people in specific pieces, and we stopped being able to interact with the world on a deeper energetic level. If you see some, I think it was Michael Palin did in the 90s did a National Geographic special where he traveled around the world talking to healers. And one of the guys had been practicing qigong since he could stand as a toddler, and he went outside, crumpled up a piece of paper, put it on the ground, put his hand over it, and it smoked. The paper smoked, and a little bit of flame came off of the edge of it. And I think because we outsourced so many things with the Industrial Revolution is why we now can't do a lot of things that we probably could have done previously to affect our world.
But Janice,
Mhm.
if I understand you correctly, he put a piece of paper on the floor,
On the ground outside, yeah.
on the ground. He put his hand on it, and it
No,
got
above
inside.
it, above it.
Above it.
Yeah.
There's still an echo.
I don't
Yeah,
know what to do.
it's Janice.
Sorry.
It's Janice.
Yeah,
Go away. I don't know why. I've shut down everything imaginable.
just mute for a second.
Okay.
Say something, Jean-Luc.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's Janice. I'm sorry. It's you. It's always you, by the way. So
no, it's just that her microphone is catching the sound from her speakers.
yeah, probably because he's not wearing a headphone. So the mic is yeah. Get your proper gear, Jan.
And
I
just to finish the story that Janice mentioned about the man that lit a piece of paper with his hand is an effect of using vibrations. So it is a technique that I've heard about also. I've read about it. It's in the Asian communities, it's talking about qi. And basically, it's your energy that you have in your body. Certain people came to understand or realize a way of vibrating and controlling their own energy. So just by the certain healers also, people that could heal with their hands, also started using their own energy to manipulate the energies of some other people.
Oh, Janice left. Big question here, Jean-Luc. To make the circle go round. So what? I mean, I'm serious. We love talking about these things, right?
Yep.
And explore, and there's more to it, and maybe the woo-woo-ness of everything. And we love to say everything is connected and everything is energy, and I'm definitely with that, right?
Same here.
But I'm constantly thinking, and now what? Because okay, we're all energy, we're all connected. If you want to, trust me, we're not connected to a lot of people, and a lot of people are not connected to another lot of people. But there is this piece of paper. You use your chi, something happens, and we are exploring this, that we're capable of so many more things. But at the same time, I'm watching a documentary, no, a movie. It's even a movie about human trafficking. It's a new movie. And then the movie was finished, and then they gave us some numbers. And then I saw the staggering news of slavery in the United States that is now bigger than ever before. The numbers are now higher than when it was legal to have slaves. And now the most horrible part, the slaves are kids. So here we are with the Octopus movement and so many
Yep.
other great movements all over the world where we're connecting, we're doing things. Bill Gates is giving away 6 billion a year in his foundation to do good in this world. And now what? The number has never been so high as today. What the fuck is wrong with people? Meanwhile, we're destroying the planet, right? And
Well,
I look at documentaries, and it's, there's a huge level of grabbing and stabbing in the linear world. And we're talking about chi that gives energy and puts the paper on fire, and it's all wonderful. And we nonlinear thinkers are special, and we're all connecting with each other. And I keep thinking, and so what?
and so
What
on.
can we do today?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That it's one of the reasons why I don't communicate a lot. I'm trying to find that actual project where we can actually put our efforts and do some actual change, some actual positive change.
And it starts, and this is a cliche, but that's why I'm so happy you're here, Jean-Luc. It starts with one. You changed my life by being there when I was thinking, I'm absolutely ridiculous. I should stop now. And you would give me a line. And well, at least Jean-Luc likes it. And now see what happens, right? It starts with one, but we need to do something. And that's why I wear this t-shirt. I'm an activist. Why am I an activist? I think being an activist means you're using that nonlinear brain to be active and to look at the bigger picture and wonder and be curious and connect. And I was just sharing within the Octopus movement a little video of Tom Jones at the it's a TV show. They have these chairs and they turn around and you
Yeah,
hear someone
The Voice.
singing. And The Voice. Thank you very much.
I watched it.
And there was this younger dude. He was singing, and Tom Jones turned around immediately, loved his voice, and apparently the boy was the son of someone Tom Jones used to sing with. So beautifully, emotionally, good singing. Tom Jones, what a cool dude he is, especially with his gray hair, and he starts singing. It's so awesome. But this is also what I mean by the mycelium and connecting the dots. I know Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc knows me. Whenever, whatever, we can connect with each other and we can help each other. And we're making these connections all the time. And we're just tiny little pinch in the world with our 4,500 weirdos. I keep thinking, what would happen if we're bigger, if we're all connecting? And maybe we should all connect with each other and start thinking in a different way. And I keep thinking, maybe then slavery will end. Maybe then people will get more sane in their day-to-day life when they start understanding their own brain or their own trauma or how society works. And society is not judging you, you're just different, and they find it difficult to read you. And when they cannot understand what's going on, they simplify things, but it's not because of you, it's because they don't understand. And they become very judgmental. So you don't have to be a victim. We need to be sane. We need to think. We need to understand each other. We need to stop doing these ridiculous things. I really feel like an activist today, by the way. It's this kind of day, right? I'm really
Yep.
going for it. But I think it's important.
It is. It is really important.
And it's more than just climate change, which is important as well, where we need to use science and all kinds of different elements and thinking differently. And we can create a solution with each other. It's possible. I'm positive about that. It's not that difficult. It's there. We just need to connect the dots. And it doesn't cost any money. This is also something I find very important. Bill Gates, good job, 6 billion, supporting all these things. And you can be saying whatever you want to say about Bill Gates, but he's doing it. He's spending that money. And he's really supporting new initiatives. But we can support new ideas as well. And we don't have to spend 6 billion of it. We can just make things happen, especially now within the Octopus movement, where the skill set is enormous, where the brain capacity is enormous already. Bring that together and we're off. And let go of our fear. Yeah, Janice. I like the fact that this Facebook user is saying Janice. It's me, and then her message. Maybe everyone should
Well,
do that when they're on Facebook.
yeah,
Right?
that's what I was saying. At least now we know it's Janice that's speaking.
I want to know as well on Facebook, and if you're listening to us on YouTube or whatever, send us a message. Say I'm here. I'm listening. I want to know what we should do. Should we continue with this? I would love to come back every week and have just a chat and see what happens. Not with the specific guests, but I share the link to the studio. Everybody can come into the studio. You have something to say, share it with us, and where we can just reach out and check how everybody is doing. And then maybe someone wants to share a story that he or she is dealing with at the moment. Um, and wants to share that with us, and then we can give our perspective to whatever is happening. So
So,
please comment on what you think.
so talking about sharing, I know that a lot of you have been wondering about me and an accident that I had a few months ago. My hand is getting better,
Hmm.
uh, and I'm starting to do some exercises to be able to use my hand again. Yeah,
You
Thomas.
were in a crazy accident, Jean-Luc,
Yeah,
and I'm very happy you were in an accident.
yeah, it allowed me to be
Yeah,
to talk to you
sorry for
guys
being
again.
selfish. All of a sudden, I could see Jean-Luc all of a sudden pop up all the time with all kinds of events. Hey, Jean-Luc is back. So I was very pleased with your accident.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, we're
A lot of
happy to see you here.
a lot of good things can come from accidents.
Well, I even think, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but maybe there's always something good coming out of anything. And okay, if something happens to your kids, I get it. There are things in life where it's just the label, this is not good, and it's the end of the story, right? But with many things, when you think, oh shit, I lost my job, or all of a sudden my best client goes away, or this friendship goes down the drain, or so many things we can really be upset about, but in many times something really good can come out of it as well.
Like the COVID.
Exactly.
A lot of us would not have met if it wasn't for COVID.
It was the right timing, and sometimes I'm thinking, is it because of COVID I've created the Octopus movement, or was I just lucky in timing wise that this all happened during COVID, which really gave me some more push and elevation and wind and fuel and whatever to make it all happen? Because especially in the beginning, everybody was at home. having enough time. I was almost using a different word, but having enough time to be on Clubhouse and all these events and like, oh, let's listen to Perry because I have nothing else to do anyway. So let's see what he's saying. This dude from the Netherlands. That really helped.
Yeah, and actually, me and my wife uh, say it often that we actually loved the COVID lockdown because, well, we're autistic. Our whole family is. We
Mhm.
actually love the quiet and the no people around, and we don't like it when there's too many people and all of that. So it's like we go out walking at 5 o'clock in the morning so that
So
there's
it's
no
nice
that's
and quiet.
quiet
Yeah.
and then there's no one around.
So cool to happen upon to cool it so cool to happen upon this conversation accidentally. We're talking about this today. Everything is as it should be. Michelle. Exactly.
Wait a minute, Michelle's on Facebook. How did how did you get your name and not
I,
Facebook
I
user?
I don't know. We need to ask Michelle. Michelle, what is your secret? Maybe because he has a StreamYard account and that it's working or something like that,
Maybe.
right? Um, I love this. I love the fact people are sending messages and that we can be in
I'm special.
conversation with the people that are listening. Um, let's do this more often.
Yes.
Just go live. Just jump into the studio. Maybe every Thursday at this time. That would because it's nice to have consistency at the same time where it's not like, oh, now it's Tuesday, now it's Thursday. It needs to be one day, and then you just go for it.
Well,
I'm not broadcasting on LinkedIn. Jean-Luc, I need to ask you this. So I
yep.
decided not to be on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is I love LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a very interesting platform, but LinkedIn is a business platform. And I thought this is more like well, I'm drinking coffee with guests. I'm drinking tea, but coffee sounds better. I'm drinking tea with guests. And it's informal. And that's why we're not live broadcasting on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is fast. You see some things and you like you support people, you read something, you connect with others. I don't think it's appropriate to stream this live on LinkedIn. It's my opinion. What do you think?
My opinion is that we should be streaming on everything at once.
So also on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, on uh, uh, what's the other? On Discord, on whatever,
Everywhere.
everywhere. And
Everywhere.
and that's the thing. Remember earlier we mentioned that so many tools, and that's a good thing
That's a very good thing. Yeah.
because every one of us chooses the tools that they like, and wherever they whatever tools they use, whatever tools they use, they get us. They get the octopus movement. It'd be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Disco, Discord.
Everywhere. Discord. Twitter, that's now called X. Can we stream on X as well? I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't know. I have to figure that out. Go on Instagram Live, but I don't know how many platforms I can connect. Maybe I should change platform because StreamYard doesn't connect with some very other kind of platforms. I need to see. There are no rules, no boxes, go mad. And especially Michelle, I like that. Don't follow the rules, right? Don't follow the rules. And you don't have to follow the rule of not following the rules. That is an important one as well, because that's the same with linearity within woo woo. Do you understand what I mean with that? Where the ego is all of a sudden very woo-woo like, and then nothing has changed. So we need to be careful in not becoming linear in being weird, because then it doesn't work anymore. So it's not about being outside of the box, or it's not about not following the rules. It's about everything. And then sometimes you follow the rules, but not every time. And you don't have to always not follow the rules.
Hey,
Do you
we're
agree?
octopi.
We're
Remember?
octopi.
We can have
Yeah.
a tentacle in the box if we want.
And it's and I have a theory that I developed in these 2.5 years, that I've spoken with so many nonlinear thinkers, and also with very successful nonlinear thinkers. Again, success in whatever it means for that
In
person that
society.
sees itself as very successful. It's about balance, Jean-Luc. It's not about just being very nonlinear. It's about being nonlinear and linear. It's and then I even think that when you understand your own science very well and your own nonlinearity, you can even become very linear, because when you see everything, you can choose to become something very specific, because you have the overview. So I think nonlinear thinkers can maybe even be very linear when they want to, but the other way around is more difficult. How about
That's
that as a
that's why there's
theory?
so many of us.
Yeah.
That's why we've been able to mask, like so many of us have mentioned in the past. We were able to mingle with all these linear thinkers and thrive.
Yeah, but the only
And
problem was, of course, that for many nonlinear thinkers, this was not a very good place to be at. So they were masking. That was a negative thing. I'm talking about a positive thing. So when you're masking to be accepted and otherwise your parents are not seeing you, that's not a good thing. But to step away and to understand the big picture and say, okay, I'm take because I was triggered by someone who sent me a message, Perry, I'm looking for a new job. Do you know a very nonlinear job for me? And that kept me thinking, and I'm thinking, yeah, no, there, a job is, if you're looking for a job, it's almost per definition a linear job. So if you're looking for a nonlinear job, it's almost a contradiction. It doesn't work. So then you need to understand, hey, I can mold myself in a positive way, and because I find it interesting, into this linear shape. And then when I'm there, I can use my nonlinearity to even become better than other linear thinkers.
that's why I went to computers.
And in the lingerie business.
No, I repaired the lingerie computers.
Yeah, okay, but that was a funny angle to use that. Luke. That was a very nonlinear sidekick into that. No, it's true. It's true. And today I met someone very interesting. I have to read out his name. A new friend in the movement. Dan Shepardson. He's in Canada, and he's a nonlinear accountant. So he's in finance. He has founded over 60 companies in his life. 60. Hello. He is highly gifted. He has OCD. He just discovered neurodiversity and is like, oh, that's why. He started in accounting. And because he started in accounting, he was able to create a system to manage his own brain. And then combine that with the highly giftedness of himself and love to study, he now, and then he sits in his office. There's a big chair, and then he's always awards and certificates behind him, his wall of fame, and he's laughing about him. He's not taking himself very seriously, which is very, very nice. And he has retired twice, but he's still creating business after business after business. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's wonderful. And I asked him, I said, okay, you nonlinear accountant, what is the secret of your success? And we made this little box of words. Listen to this. No fear, very important. If you're an entrepreneur, no fear is really necessary. No stupidity. He called it knowledge, but I like to use the word no. So no fear, no stupidity, non-linear thinking, no linearity, right? And then he added balls of steel because otherwise it's not working. What a beautiful human being. What a beautiful human being. So fascinating. And he said, I love to work, I love to study. And he just created that system to manage his brain. And I thought, yeah, that's an important lesson. And the science of you, how does your brain work? Create a system that works for your brain, and don't follow the crowd on this is the system to use when you want to have 1 million followers or $1 million or 1 million likes or 1 million women or 1 million cars. Create your own system, right? Very cool dude. Dan Shepperton. No fear, no stupidity, non-linearity, balls of steel. Here you go. Someone is saying exactly. I like that when people say exactly. And I also learned something from Tio. Tio is a very interesting dude that people should check out as well. He's in Brazil. He's from India. One day I was talking to him and I said, Tio, I'm having a bad day. He said, Perry, a bad day doesn't exist. And I thought, oh yeah, that's true. You can have I had a headache, right? A headache is not a bad day. It's not working. You need to finish something. I'm having a bad day. No, you're just not working to finish something, or you just have a headache or whatever. And I like that he said that's not a bad day. Let's not do that. Let's just say you have a headache or you're tired or you're not feeling well. You're not happy. It's fine. Check out your own brain. Don't immediately label it as a bad day because that's a lot. If you label
Especially
it
if
a
it's
bad
in the
day.
morning.
Yeah. If it's by the end of the day at the 11 in the evening and you say, then I'm having a bad day, well,
Or,
cheers. Go to
well,
bed.
in that case, it's I've had a bad day.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing to do either before you go to sleep.
Yeah, because it's always good to find the good things in life.
It's good to go to bed and think about something very interesting or lovely, or close your eyes and you're on the Bounty Islands reading a book in a hammock or whatever that suits you, and then fall asleep rather than shit, what a lousy day this was. That's not a good thing. It's almost an hour, Jean-Luc.
Yeah,
2 more minutes and then we will stop.
that sucks.
Yeah. Should we go longer? Do you want to talk about something else?
Always, all the time.
Always. Well, let's come back. Let's stay for the hour. I've learned you always have to leave when it's very, very cozy and comfortable, and when you're having a good time, rather than continue and then you go downhill and it gets less interesting and then you leave. You always have to leave at the top. And I think an hour is enough. Otherwise people are getting bored of us, maybe.
Well, the good thing I'll be able to be here all month.
All month, so I see you next week as well.
Yep.
Okay. And we will be streaming on more platforms next week. I will make sure of that. Thank you for being here, Jean-Luc. Thank you for being there. What is it, Janice and Erwin? Erwin, you should be in the studio as well one day. Aaron is from the Netherlands, and Aaron introduced me to this university with 41 international students that I gave the assignment. Oh, this is a topic we can talk about next time as well.
Yeah.
I asked the students, design the space before neurodiversity. And from the 41 students I explained it to, none of them understood what the hell I was talking about.
I really want that conversation.
Because I think that's an interesting space.
Yeah.
Right?
So thank you, Michelle, Janice, Thomas, and everyone else.
Pascal, yay. Thank you all for coming. We will see you next week. Or even more, but let's do next week for sure. And maybe I will do a unexpected check-in in the evening. Like, I'm going live. Who wants to chat? It's good to connect. This
Yes.
is why we created the movement. So thank you, Jean-Luc.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.